Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to No Limit Podcast, episode number 1. And yeah, man, we're just, not coming in with any expectations. We're not coming in, too high hopes here. You know what I mean? This is episode number 1. Let's not forget that, but no, man, we're just simply here to have a good time. Honestly, I don't have any format or any type of anything laid out for this podcast. Honestly, I just, whatever comes to mind, man, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm not going to take notes. I could talk about the topics that are trending or the news or this or that, but if you guys wanted to hear that, you know what I mean, you would go turn on the news. So, yeah, we're not going to do that, man. We're literally just here, blow off some steam. You know what I mean? I know you're in the middle of your work week, right now. And, yeah, man, we're just here to have a good time. Now, it might get emotional at times. It might get serious. It might get real. It might be funny. It might just be jokes. But, hey, regardless, man, we're here just to have a good time. And if you guys don't know about my main channel, No Limit, the link to that will be in the description. It's a reaction channel for music. And then I have No Limit Reacts, where I react to everything other than music. Just whatever you guys send me, basically. And the gaming channel, No Limit Plays. But I'm working on getting everything for that together, y'all. There will be content out soon. But I'm just happy I'm getting started on this podcast, man. This is something that's been in the works for a long time. Um, yeah, I myself, I'm a fan of well, I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I like listening to the comedy podcast circuit. Bad Friends podcast, Two Bears, One Cave, stuff like that. So, but anyway, man, we're just here to have a good time and talk about. Oh, first and foremost, you know, rest in peace, King Von. You know, rest in peace, man. Sad situation. What's going on? I just saw another rapper was. I mean, this year, bro. Can we talk about that for a minute? This year, just. I mean, it's insane, man. It's. See, I've never heard any of his music. Mo3. I've heard of him before, but I've never heard any of his music. Maybe I might have to react to him. He was killed in Dallas. Yeah, man, sad stuff. Rest in peace to Mo3. Of course, man. He was known for his 2019 collaboration with Bootsy Badass on Everybody. Oh, I think I did hear that. Yeah, I messed with Bootsy heavy, by the way. He died Wednesday on following a shooting incident in Texas. He was 28. Man, I'm 28. Can you imagine? Can y'all imagine, man? I mean, these rappers. It's seeming like, forget Daly's catch, man. Being a rapper is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world right now. But no, because they say the deadliest catch, being the crab fisherman, it is like literally one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. But anymore, man, being a rapper is like, it's crazy, bro. Now, I will say a lot of these times, stuff like this could be avoided. A lot of it is confrontations or just beef over minor things, including women or with this and that. But here's my thing though, it's like it happens every day, bro. It happens every day. It's just when it happens to a rapper, I guess it's just, I don't know. It's sad, man, because it's always the real one, and it's just like I'm just over it. Nipsey, Pop Smoke, King Von, like just very talented dudes, and I mean some of the realest there is. Rest in peace, King Nipsey, and rest in peace, Pop Smoke, as well. But anyway, y'all, I'm about had it with this year, man. And on top of everything else, you know, it's dead. It's done out, you know. But and also I'm hearing that they're having problems, you know, with the Xbox, you know, the new Xbox. So that won't be a problem for me, you know. I'm a PS5, you know, PS4 guy, but um, I don't have anything against Xbox either. Like I hate like people always determine that like there's a beef. You know, if you're not for one, you're not for the other, or if you are for one, you're not for the other. No, I mean I rock with Xbox too. I just shit I can't afford to be getting both of them now, man. Now maybe I will eventually, but nah, you gotta one or the other, man. It's too expensive to be. And I don't know. I guess I grew up with PlayStation, right? Not that this, you know, pertains to anything or matters, but I just grew up on PlayStation. That's really the only thing it is. It's like from day one since the PlayStation 1 first came out, you know? So it's kind of like it's in my blood, dude. It's like that's all I've ever known. So it's hard for me to, you know, I just can't switch over, turn my back on them now. Come on. Y'all remember Crash Bandicoot? Nah, but for real, I rock with Xbox too. I mean, I would like to get one, but I just rock with Sony. And I think what it is too now, even if I didn't grow up on PlayStation, I still would be playing PlayStation. It's a lot of more the games, you know. I feel like I'm more into like realistic, you know. And I feel like they have a lot more of that on PlayStation. I don't know what it is, but just more some of more of the exclusive or more like, and it doesn't have to be like 100% realistic, you know what I mean? I just mean like playing as a human and doing stuff like this, but um, I don't know. That probably sounds crazy, but no, it's just like, yeah. I mean, it could be a game with zombies and stuff, but still, just playing as you know, it has to be somewhat real. I can't be, you know, I don't know. I'm open minded too, you know. I don't just play only those games, but you gotta think about it, man. I guess it's more like, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. And I don't really know a lot of Xboxes, you know, I just know a few of their exclusives, and it's like it's more just like fantasy, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Y'all let me know, but anyway, yeah, man. We're just here to have hey, we're just here to have a good time, man. You know, kick back, relax. Y'all chill with me. I might be having because you know, I want y'all to really think about this, man. Imagine sitting in a room alone, right? Talking to a camera that doesn't talk back, and you can't be sitting there pausing and thinking about what you're gonna be talking about next. It's really hard to do, you know. I don't have a problem with it with reactions and stuff, and you know this is my first time doing the podcast, but maybe y'all like it better with just me, but I'm thinking about having a buddy on as like a not a guest. I mean it would be a guest, but he doesn't live close to me anymore, so it would have to be, you know, I'll do FaceTime and you'll see his face and my face half and half. But I want to try that out to see, you know, because it's definitely gonna be just more natural, you know, conversation as well as I just more comfortable. You know, I've known him since 5th grade, so. But it's not just that. I mean, I'm real comfortable with you guys. I feel like it's more the fact that just all the stories we have, man. I mean, we have stories for days and days, bro. We could go on about all the crazy, you know, stuff we've been through. So, yeah, been through a lot of crazy stuff with that dude. I mean, a lot. And when it comes down to it, man, it's like, yeah, I think y'all will really enjoy that. So even if I was gonna do this podcast part like co-host with him, so he's on every time, all the time. But I'm just gonna knock a few out myself, and you know I'll get that done with him. See how y'all like it. Maybe we'll have him on more often. Maybe it will go to him all the time, or maybe just be me. It doesn't really, We're just testing out the waters here, y'all. So I just really want y'all to bear with me. Like I said, I've got nobody editing. I'm editing everything myself. I got 5 channels. I've also got, a normal life too. So I'm juggling everything like crazy right now. And I've only been at YouTube for 2 months. So just work with me. That's all I'm saying. Don't, if you can relate to me in any way. But I just kind of want to get started off kind of like an introduction, man, for y'all to know me, a little better, I guess I could say. Um, yeah, man, I mean, I don't know how detailed, I want to get, but like, I don't know, man, I grew up in a small town, right? Well, I don't know, I've been through so many different, we all have a crazy history when you really stop back and think about it, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's crazy. I'm kind of rambling here. I'm thinking about like where I really want to get started, man. Yeah, I grew up in a small town, It's not my whole life though, so I don't really want to say grew up. I mean, I'm talking in elementary school. So, uh, parents got divorced when I was 7 or 8. That crushed me, of course. But I thought it was the end of the world. But you realize it really ain't nothing when something a lot worse than that happens, and it just shows you how little that was. But yeah, I don't say my dad was kind of the one. Both of my parents worked, but my dad was just the more responsible one, right? He's the one uh, just paid everything on time, had his own house, just had his stuff together, really. But not to knock my mom, she worked too, but I think she's more or less just kind of bad, just not the best with money. Let's say that. I'm not gonna, dog my mom on here. I love her to death, but love you, mom. Um, no, but yeah, I guess I don't know. Then I was a mama's boy, so when they got divorced, yeah, I moved in with her, and um, you know, probably wasn't the best thing because, like I said, I'm not gonna dog my mom on here, but she was just more of a friend than a parent. Let's put it that way. So she really wasn't on me about a lot, and I pretty much did whatever I wanted. And not that it wasn't anything too crazy, but there's just more structure with my dad. He was more strict. I think that's one of the reasons I didn't want to be there. But we moved basically to this. My dad had a nice house and out in the country with woods and all this. But I would have rather lived in this tiny apartment with my mom, you know, where I could do whatever I want and pretty much get away with whatever. But this is still, I'm still very young at this time, so I was just at that point I was just a mama's boy basically. But um, yeah, it's like I mean where we lived, it was let's see, was it? It was like basically a 1 bedroom. It was a one. It was such an old house, man. It was a 1 bedroom. But hold on, y'all. I need to go even further back than that, right? We moved to this place. It was in a dodgy place. Let's just put it that much, right? Kind of, in the ghetto, right? From where I'm at, but we basically lived in a half bar, half house. So, um, yeah, it was like you go out and see, pool table, but all these signs from the bars and stuff, and drinks everywhere. So it was kind of a sketchy place to live as a kid, but I didn't really live there that long, and I was so young, I don't really remember that much of it. But up until my parents got divorced, I did live in my dad's house with my mom and dad. But I was so young then, I don't really remember any of it. So, I mean, barely bits and pieces. So after they got divorced, where did we live? Oh, we lived in a really dodgy, trailer park, and then for a while, for a couple years. So I might have been even younger when my parents got divorced. I might have been like 4 or 5, bro. But anyway, my mom met a guy that was that she dated for a while. She moved into his sister had a house that was like it was that's the one that's a half bar, half house, and I don't even know, you know, it basically wasn't meant to be lived in. It was meant to be like a bar, you know what I mean? And without getting into too much detail, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not a place where a kid should be, basically. I remember the upstairs had like water bed. It was like a party place, man, basically. But yeah, man, times were hard. So uh, yeah, after we lived there for a while, I mean, it was just a yeah. And then the next place we moved into wasn't much better, right? It was but it was small town. And the place we lived was like 1 bedroom. Now, here's my thing: it had an upstairs, right? But there wasn't rooms. It was just one whole upstairs, and it kind of killed the whole point of the upstairs because the ceiling was so short that you had to like duck down to walk, and you basically almost had to crawl. But uh, so that ended up being like where I played and stuff, and yeah, like I don't know, and so she had a bedroom downstairs was her bedroom where she had a bed and stuff. So with that being how it was upstairs, I couldn't really have a bed. So I never had a bed. I don't have to tell people that, right? And they're like, "Are you serious? How could you?" I didn't have a bed for years. I always slept on the couch. So, and this is as a kid. And so, yeah, I mean, so I'm living there, and I'm doing whatever kids do. You know, I don't want to get into stuff too much, because obviously, I got into a little bit of some trouble, and did a lot of things, I probably shouldn't have done. But anyway, this is around the time I find out I'm around 9 years old now, I believe. Either just turning or turned 9. And this is what my mom tells me, because my daddy, I mean, he was always a great guy, right? He would always come because he's supposed to give me every other weekend, but I wouldn't. I mean, I just didn't go. And not that he wasn't supposed to. It was just whatever they wanted to do, basically. But he would come, try to get me to go. And I tell my mom, no, I didn't want to go. It's not because of that, right? I love my dad, but I just had too much freedom here, and I didn't have any over there. But anyway, basically, this is around the time my mom ended up telling me, I think you should go see your dad. Like, he's got cancer, and yeah, I mean, she kept it real with me. She basically said he's got cancer. He might only live another couple of years or two, another couple of years, and I think you'll regret it if you don't. Because now see I was so young, you guys. You got to think the timeline for me is all construed, but yeah, I was 9. So I had to make a big decision, man, for a 9-year-old. That's a lot to handle, and it's heavy because I had an older sister. She's 4 years older than me. An older brother. He's 8 years older than me. We're all 4 years apart, and they had always lived with my dad. So um, now we all have, both have the same parents. But so yeah, instead of being like, I'll just go hang out with them for the summer or whatever, especially with everything I was getting into already over there, I think it was a good thing. It just, I decided I told her, you know what, I'm just gonna move in with him, you know. I love my dad to death, and I mean, I really wasn't. He's always my dad, but I didn't see him much because I just didn't go over there. I don't know. I think back about it, like I wish, I would have, but I was too young then. My mom, honestly, she should have just made me go or something. But like I said, she was too busy being, the friend instead of the parent. So, um, not to dog my mom or anything, she did the best she could with what she had, you know. But I just know. Anyway, so yeah, I moved in with him, and this is around the time my brother's older, right? So he's 17 already, so he's hardly ever there. My sister's 14, 15. She's there, but she had a lot of friends. She was always popular and stuff, so she was already always going out. But yeah, basically I moved in with him to the place out in the country, and we got close, man. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I would ride 4 wheelers every day, all day. Go fishing, um, shoot guns, man, everything. You know, just doing a lot of everything. I would go hunting with him. Stuff that I would have never done otherwise if I wasn't with him, because I was in the city, getting into stuff. Now, I mean, there's such a big timeline, you guys. You gotta understand. So work with me. Um, I mean, I don't, because there's so many things that happen. Like, I could go on for weeks, guys. Honestly, I'm just not. I'm just gonna, glaze over everything. Cause I had legal trouble. I mean, I got in trouble the first time in 5th grade, bro. I had cops there. I was handcuffed but it wasn't anything big. Me and my buddy had cause I lived close to school, so we basically just left during recess. It was so stupid. We were just like, we're out. So we went and did, whatever. But, um, yeah, and the cops got us like 5 or 6 hours later. It was a whole thing, but it was stupid. It was stupid. Pretty much every time I ever got in trouble, it was just real stupid. It's like, yeah, but, yeah, anyway, I moved in with him, and as he progressively got worse, with his cancer, he would, I just would take care of him the best I can, get him his water, help him out. But there's just some things I seen I wish I wouldn't seen. I'm sure a lot of you guys at home, you know, you can relate to this. You've had somebody you love, But I got when I tell you this, so my dad was my world. I mean, he was everything. I mean, I still haven't been the same, and I never will be. You know, it's my family's never been the same. You know, but anyway, just little things like him passing out. I hear him hit the floor, and he's puking from chemo, just all this stuff, and like there was one time that he was in remission, right? And doctors told him that he'd beat it, and we even went and celebrated and everything. But I don't know. I just don't know what they do. I think it might have even been twice he was in remission, and uh, it was like 6 months. No, it was once. It was 6 months later. He went to get checkup, and they said like I don't know what, I don't know how, what they do, and they say it's gone. Like how? Why did they do that? Like why don't they just keep checking every week? You know what I mean? No, they waited like 6 months, and he went back, and they said like, oh, it's back. You know, it spread to your lymph nodes, it spread to all your organs. Like basically said like game over. It's done out. You know, but yeah. So um, so that's when I really knew like, you know, this was it. It was real. But I don't know. People say like maybe it's better because this happened over like a 5-6 year period. Um, maybe they say it's better because you get more time to mourn. But is it really though? Is it like watching your loved ones, you know, suffer day in and day out and go through all these surgeries, and it's like, or is it better just to lose them in an instant like that when you're not prepared? But at least they didn't suffer, you know what I mean, and go through all that pain. And but one thing, you know, it taught me is to always fight and never give up. You know what I mean? So anybody out there listening, man, you got this. You know what I'm saying? Uh, my dad was diagnosed in like '99, so like I said, if he had got it nowadays or even 2010, he probably would have beat it. You know, nowadays the medicine's crazy. Um, you know, I used to say like, you know, if I ever get it, I'm only saying this from seeing what he went through. I used to say like, I just let it take me. I'm not even gonna try to fight it because I've seen everything he went through, and it's not. And what I mean by that is, if you ever see anybody or know someone, which I'm sure a lot of you do, the chemo, man, when it goes in to try to kill the cancer cells, it doesn't only kill the cancer cells. It can't distinguish between cancer cells and every other cell in your body. It kills everything. I mean everything. That's why you lose your hair. It doesn't fall out because of cancer. It's because of chemo. So it's like when people are doing that, man, they could have just lived 6 months or a year, you know, normal, and just did everything they tried to want to do, or live 5 years and just pain, agony, sick all the time, vomiting every day. Like I don't know. I guess I'd have to. Now I used to say that back then, but I know today, you know, I would fight it. You know, I'm not. I wouldn't. I couldn't give up. I couldn't do that to my dad. But what's scary is, since then, my aunt, my dad's younger sister, he's got a younger brother. He's the oldest, and he's got a younger brother and a youngest sister. She's the youngest. She caught the same exact type of cancer my dad has. So now, luckily, they caught it right away and they nipped it off. You know, she's good. But that's scary, the fact that, you know, it's in my bloodstream that heavy that, you know. So I need to start getting checked up regularly. And I'm still trying to quit smoking. And I'm doing a lot better, let me tell you. A lot better. You know, I've cut down quite a bit. And let's start using the patches. So, but anyway, it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to make this a whole dark thing, and I don't want to talk about all the bad things I did in the past. You know what I mean? But because for me to really go through it in depth, you know what I mean? It's like I will really have to sit here and think about it because so many things happen, right? I mean, when he passed, let's just put it there. Well, I remember, I don't know if you guys ever felt that, man, and I don't think you will until you either lose a parent or a child, because me going to the hospital, right? When I remember I'm in like 6th grade. Yeah. Uh, just seeing him, like I had to travel hours and hours to see him, and just seeing him, man. We hooked up to the machine. He had a trachea. I mean, I will never forget. You know, hold up, let me pull this up. I will never forget, man, how it felt just to see him. Like, oh, bro, the pain. It's like I don't know if I can explain it. You know, when you got like something that made you sad and your throat's like swollen, stuck open. It felt like that, but like it literally is crazy. I think that's how they came up with that, you know, the whole heartbreak thing, because it felt like this isn't no, you know, a breakup or nothing. And I've been through one really bad of those too, and that's nothing. That doesn't compare, you know. I've lost dogs, you know. Like it's not even it doesn't nothing comes close, bro. Let me tell you, it's like the heartbreak. It feels like your heart's ripping apart from the inside, like literally, like there's a hole in my soul missing, you know, a big gaping hole, and nothing will ever fill it. So it's tragic, man. It's tragic, but it's just what I want y'all to know. This is not gonna be a dark podcast. It isn't gonna be like this every time. I'm just giving y'all a little bit of introduction, and then after this, we move. You know, after this is gonna be more lighter and funnier and cracking jokes, you know. But I just want to give y'all a little bit of my past. So, anyway, fast forward October. This is October 2005. You know, he came. They shipped him back. Hospice, 2 weeks in our house. That's where he wanted to, you know, go. And oh yeah, before that I had, you know, a thing where I don't know how much I want to share y'all, but it feels good to get it off my chest, you know. I had a night, one of the nights where, you know, he's throwing up from chemo. It's late. I'm going to bed for school, and I go to check on him, right? And he's throwing up. You know, he does it all the time, but this was before he had a surgery, right? He had a surgery from the middle of his, like right under his chest, all the way down to his waist. He also had a surgery from ear to ear to remove tumors, and he also had a bunch of his lymph nodes removed right here. So he had like it was basically just missing, like nothing there. But and I don't want empathy or anything. I don't want anybody to feel bad for me, because people go through this all the time. You know, there's tons of you out there that have experienced. I'm just telling y'all, just to, you know, just to vent and get it out, you know. But I mean, I guess it doesn't really help you know me better. It just gives you some of the, you know, idea of some of the stuff I went through. But he had puked, and his incision had torn open, and you know, basically his organs were falling out of his stomach. So I remember seeing that, and then my aunt like telling me, you know, go upstairs, go to bed, la da da. And I'm like still at, you know, 10 or 9, and like I'm real young. So I'm like trying to go to bed. I mean, there's no way you can sleep after seeing what you saw, knowing that the person you love the most is going through this. And I remember like I hear a bunch of people screaming downstairs, and I'm like trying to cover my ears, and I'm rocking back and forth in bed trying to go to sleep. And I hear a helicopter like come landing in our house, like, because it was a hospital, you know, the hospital's helicopter of emergency coming to get him. But you know, luckily he was fine after that. He pulled through. But anyway, y'all, I'm not gonna go through like everything, because I don't want to get, you know, bring everybody down or nothing like that. Just you know, he came to the house for the hospice for 2 weeks. And, you know, I'm glad we can give him that. He could pass away there where he wanted to be. But like I said before, though, I kind of wish, I mean, I know people are like, everyone else is in shock, so they can't even stop to think, maybe you shouldn't be seeing this. Because I saw everything. But I kind of just wish, I wasn't there to watch him go. If that makes any sense. I guess a lot of us are. But I mean, I'm like 9. Well, at this time, I'm like 13, 14. So, yeah. He had a ton of seizures, they were stopped preventing him from biting his own tongue. But, yeah, and I watched him go, and I saw my grandma just distraught. I mean, screaming, and everybody, and my mom was there. Everyone was there. But I remember at this time, I'm already smoking, right? Like 13, because I guess it's just what everything that went on, right? I was forced to grow up fast. I mean, instead of I'm taking care of my dad, my brother and sister. I didn't tell you guys this, but for those last like 3 or 4 years, they were never there. Uh, I guess they just couldn't bear, seeing my dad like that. But you know, and I hope that they don't live to regret that. Someday that they weren't really there for the last. But everybody grieves different. I'm not judging them. I don't think of them any different. I just did what I wanted to do. And that's one thing I get to live with comfortably, knowing I was there and I helped him as much as I could. I spent every last, waking minute with him, up until his last hours. But yeah, he passed away, man, and it was one of the hardest things in my life. And I remember right after he did, I just walked right out the door. Like everyone was in there bawling, screaming, crying. And I just walked straight out to the woods and just smoked, man. Also, yeah, I smoked, man. And I had one of my best friends there with me, so he came and he never seen it, say nothing, he was just there for support, I guess. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Life's crazy. I don't want y'all, like I said, no empathy, no sympathy. I don't want nobody to feel bad for me. You shouldn't. You know what I mean? It's life. Real shit. It happens. You know? So that's not what I'm trying to get here. I'm just kind of, giving you a little glimpse into my world. But basically, so the problem with now was, yeah, since I had moved in with my dad, my mom had moved on, right? And she met somebody else. And, because I wasn't living with her, I guess, being a single mom, that kind of holds you back. So from when I moved in with my dad, she met someone else. She moved, to a different city, and I didn't really hear from her at all. Those 3 or 4 years that I was with him. Actually, I didn't hear from her. And even after he passed, it was only from when he passed to the showing and the funeral that that I saw her, and then after that I didn't see her again. That's kind of that hurt me even more, man, because I felt like when I needed her most, she wasn't there, you know. And I guess I kind of still hang on to that to this day. Well, I don't really. I let it go. I go visit her all the time. I love her to death, but it was like, I guess she was grieving too, and that's how she dealt with it. But I just didn't see from her, didn't hear. I didn't know where she lived. I didn't even know, I didn't have her phone number. There's no way I could have contacted her if I wanted to. So, but basically, my brother told me, he would try and work, 2 jobs and work as hard as he could to keep the house if I wanted to keep it. And then he said when I turned 18, it would be mine. And at first I told him like, well, yeah, I love to do that. This is my home, I don't want to go anywhere. But it turns out, a night, what is it? a 14-year-old and what is it, a 22-year-old, like, it's too hard for them to keep, with a mortgage and taxes and, you know. But I met a lot of different people. I hung out with different people. You know, I started, to deal with, to cope, I guess you would say. I found marijuana, man, and I mean, it could have saved my life, honestly. I feel like without it, I don't know where I would have been or what I would have done. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if it did help or it didn't, because it's like, it will help you, while you're doing it. And then I was always constantly doing it. So it's like it just pushes things aside, but it's still there. I don't know if I prolonged it by doing that, because I did it for years. But anyway, I found that, and, I started doing things, at a young age, right? I'm 15, trying to help my brother pay the bills. So I'm doing things that I need to do to make money, and it ain't working. Let me tell you that much, because I'm going to school. So you guys can put those pieces together what you think it is. But yeah, man, I did what I had to do, and after a while, it didn't work, man. We lost the house, we sold everything. Um, and here's another thing, right? I moved in with my grandparents, so it was my dad's parents, so my grandma became like my mom in a sense, and yeah, I don't know, but I only moved with them because that's where my school corporation was in that town. But I'm glad I did, though. I'm glad I did. But anyway, and while I was living with them, I was still, doing what I had to do. And I got popped one time when I was like, was I 15 or 16? I got arrested, and I think I knew, I was just always really smart with mines. I mean, I did stuff that I could have, been put away for a long time, but I never got caught for it, and I did stuff I regretted. But um, it's like, you do what you gotta do, man. And yeah, I mean, I never did anything like too crazy, so I don't want you guys, your imaginations to run too wild, but you know, there's nothing that is like, yeah. But anyway, so I still didn't hear from my mom for, like I said, for 3 or 4 years after. I don't think I ended up hearing from her until I was like 17, 18, 19. Is it 17 or 18? And I would go see her then, but it took a long time. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't until I was like 19 and, I woke up and I said, uh, I gotta quit. I gotta quit smoking weed. I gotta quit, I gotta get it together, because I wanted to. No, this was like 18 when I did. I wanted to get a real job, and I wanted to be responsible. And it's not that you can't when you're doing that. You definitely can. But I mean, I started at such a young age. It was like 13, 14, so it was already having its effect on me as far as memory and everything, and I didn't want that. So yeah, I quit, man. And uh, but it's weird though, because that's what I'm saying though. I don't know if it's something you should quit or you should. I don't know. It helped me out, So maybe it'll help some of y'all. I don't know. But basically, like, as soon as I quit though, I just went into like super depression, man. And I mean, some of the worst. So this was when I'm like, this is 7 or 18, 19. But I had a few problems in here and there. I got in trouble, like I said, and I got kicked out of school. And then I went to alternative school, and then I had to go back to my regular school, and they wouldn't even let me go back, bro. Cause I got kicked out of school, and then went to alternative school, and then got kicked out of alternative school. So yeah, and it's not something I'm proud of. It's not funny. It's like I said, it's stupid. You look back on it now, it's so stupid. And but I was just living, man. I was having a good time. I wasn't, like I said, it wasn't nothing too crazy. But yeah, man. I was in like a real depression, man, for a long time after I quit, and I just told myself like, no more, no more. Like I'm done living like this. So I started working out every day. I started eating healthier, and that really turned me around, man. I tell you what, like at first it was hard to work out, and then you get into it, and then it's like when you drink a coffee or whatever it is you have. It was like I couldn't even start my day until working out, and you know I wish I would have stuck on to that like I did, because I still work out now, but not like I did then, man. It was crazy. I was like, every day, an hour before work. I'm talking before I go work 8 hours. And this is hard with labor, like, but, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't need to go through the whole thing, but basically, the moral of the story is never give up, man, because do you know how many times I fell into a deep depression and thought like it would never be. And I was, eventually I was happy again. And all it took for me was, lay off the stuff, the grass, and work out religiously, I might add, every day, and just eat healthier, man. And I started feeling a lot better about myself, about my surroundings. I was working real hard, living a normal life, but yeah, that's. I mean, I thought about having a thing called story time where I get into stories every like not all the time, as I don't want to be like this where I'm just rambling on about my past forever. But maybe I'll get into more detailed things on what happened with me and what I got into and stuff like that. But for now, I just kind of wanted to give y'all a scope, a range, because I had a video a while back. Tom McDonald's cancer. That's the one I reacted to, and I just talked a little bit about what happened with my dad and everything, and that's kind of why I wanted to clarify and just kind of talk a little more about it, because I said I would on my podcast, and I did. For y'all, that anybody that wanted to hear, I really just want you guys to know from now on it's not gonna be like this. There'll be no, I kind of want to have like just a dope podcast where we come kick it, we have a good time. If I can make y'all laugh, man, that would make my day. So, I'm not saying it's gonna be funny, but I'll try. But yeah. Anyway, man. And I didn't even look at when we started. So I have no idea. Oh, holy shit. Bro, I've been rambling on this long. Bro, I mean, there's so much I want to tell you guys, honestly. And we will get into it in the future, but uh, my main thing is like, just stick it out. Like, it will get better. You know what I'm saying? Your days will get brighter. You will. You know what I mean? If you haven't met somebody, you will. If whatever it is you want, you'll get it if, you believe it. You gotta believe it yourself. If you don't believe it can happen, it ain't gonna happen, bro. Let me tell you. Why, what? The other thing, too, it's not just gonna fall in your lap. You have got to go and get it. You gotta get up, get out, and get it. So, I mean, if you're wanting, whatever it is you want, man, you gotta, it's not gonna come to you. You gotta go get it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just my whole life's been a roller coasters, man. Up and downs, up and down. A lot of downs, bro. I tell you what, a lot of downs, but also a lot of ups. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I left out, in between those times where I had a blast. And there's times I left out where it was even darker than the stuff I told y'all that, like, I mean, I wanted to end it, bro. So, this is why, I mean, then there's more to my story. So, if you guys want to hear more, I'll tell you. But that's the thing. It's like, I can't tell you, in another 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes left. So, if y'all want to hear, I'll get into it. If not, that's fine too. We'll go on with the normal podcast. But basically, man, whatever it is you're going through, I just want to say this: do not resort to drugs. Drugs are not something to play with. It's not something like, oh, just this one time. Don't do that, man. Don't. And if you're struggling with that right now, don't give up. Do not give up. Because you will. You can beat it, man. Let me tell you something. You can beat it. It is mind over matter. It really is, man. I promise you. Mind over matter. So, but yeah, y'all. Man, it's crazy to thinking about, reminiscing. It's crazy. Oh, man. And I'm glad, I got the community like I do, that we can just, kick back and chill and we can talk. And, yeah, man, like, I want to start having, now I don't know if every podcast is going to be an hour, because everybody does normally do, like, hour podcasts. I was thinking about doing something different, like, most people do 1 hour a week. I was thinking about doing, 2 half-hour podcasts or 4 15-minute podcasts, Let me know what y'all think about that. What would you rather see? Because an hour is a long time to listen to somebody, But y'all let me know, man. And, if you're coming here from the main channel, I just want to, take the time, stop out and thank each and every one of you. Especially, just coming over here from over there. That's the type of support I need. And, yeah, man, it's greatly appreciated. I don't take any of it for granted, But, yeah, other than that, man, I think this is going to be it for this one, I'm out of time, man. I'm out of time. But anyway, man, that was episode 1, the introduction. And, y'all enjoy the rest of your week. You know what I mean? Be careful out there right now. I'm telling y'all, be careful. Nolimitpodcast gang. I love y'all, man. Y'all stay safe. Stay out the way. I'm gone.